and welcome to this special edition of Face to Face for Bent TV to honour John and Nan McGregor. And we're just going to go over and have a little chat to Nan, who's over here. Now, Nan, you're on television. This is a special night for you tonight.
Oh, it's a very, very special night. I'm so nervous. I've got bogong moths in the stomach. It's no longer butterflies.
Are you ready for a good night?
I'm always ready for a good night. A good night out.
Well, we've had reports of that.
And not in the back of the car. And that's too much information for the children.
Now, you realise we have a special guest tonight. We have the Acting Premier, Minister for Victorian Communities, Minister for Water Resources, Minister for everything, actually. And he's coming specially to honour you. How do you feel about that?
Oh, as always, overwhelmed. The whole thing is an honour. It's it's really, really great, and that a member of Parliament would come to honour me is making me speechless. Making me speechless.
Now, you do realise you have to make a speech later. Oh, you've got it in your purse? Gorgeous. Well, look, we're going to come back to you later during the dinner and get your thoughts, and perhaps give us an insight into what made you decide to become President of PFLAG all those years ago.
What made me decide? There was nobody else who'd do it. That's it. Yeah, but yeah, I'm always happy to talk, you know that. I know. I've got a bit of a reputation, haven't I, as a talker.
Now, we have three very likely-looking gentlemen here now. Would you like to introduce yourself one by one and tell us why you're here tonight to honour Nan and John McGregor?
Brett Hayhoe. Basically here to compare it, but as you are aware, it's a joint function between the VGLRL and Globe, and I'm marketing coordinator for Globe.
I'm Mark Thompson, I'm the EO of PWHA Victoria, and here to represent the organisation, but to salute somebody who's been a great inspiration for the gay community.
She's been a great supporter, hasn't she? I have some very fond memories of the Relationships Bill when that went through Parliament, and Nan being asked to sit down by the Speaker because she was getting too agitated. What do you think, Colin, is the thing that sticks in your mind about Nan's advocacy for our community?
Oh, look, even more than that, Nan means much more than that. She's everybody's mother. She is everyone's mum, and she's just been such an inspirational person. So I love her.
Adam Pickvance, the Executive Officer of the Also Foundation, previously the President of the Also Foundation. Now, you've got a long involvement with Nan. Yep. Got any little interesting snippets to tell us about Nan?
Oh my goodness. Well, we've had some interesting minor crises to work through, and what I've really valued about my association with Nan is her ability to think clearly under pressure. She often describes herself as just a mum from Glen Waverley, but in fact we all know she's a hell of a lot more than that.
She's a terror, isn't she?
She is a terror. She can take it on with the best of them. She's, as John said, she is an inspiration to so many other people.
Now we have Gareth here from Pride March. What do you have to say, Gareth, about Nan and John?
And both Nan, John, and long-suffering Keiran.
Is it Nan says that she knows more gay men than Keiran?
Yes, and Keiran sheds the odd tear about that, actually, from what I understand. It is just fantastic to be here tonight. Nan and John have both been immense supporters of Pride March in every year.
John Thwaites, who's coming tonight specifically to honour Nan and John.
Yeah, it's the power that she has had in the wider community towards bringing all of the issues that we need to deal with on a daily basis has been extraordinary for a mum from Glen Waverley.
It's quite significant, isn't it?
It's fantastic.
Mark Gardner, Joy Melbourne.
Okay, and why are you here tonight, Mark?
Because Nan McGregor has made an incredible contribution to Joy Melbourne over the years. One of the people I think instrumental in getting us a licence in terms of the support she gave us and the credibility I think that she gave us as an organisation in recognising the importance of the work we do for young people and families of people who are coming out as being gay or lesbian.
I'm Andrea Colano, the convener for Minus 18 Victoria. The reason why I'm here is, aside from Nan being the wonderful parent and PFLAG, mind you, of Minus 18, she's probably played the biggest role in my personal and professional development. So here's thanks to her.
Where to now?
Where to now?
Where to now for, you know, PFLAG and -18 and what comes after Nan, post Nan?
Oh look, everyone's set a pedestal up, and so everyone just has to take the next step, and whatever that next step is, I'm pretty sure it's going to be right.
Good. Acting Sergeant Melinda Edwards, you're here tonight to honour Nan and John McGregor. How does it feel?
Oh, it's fantastic to be here. The amount of work that both of them have put in for the gay and lesbian community over the last, 10, 15 years or so that Nan's been president of PFLAG is just absolutely phenomenal. Definitely. What Nan has done for the community and John as well along the way, you know, I think sometimes he's been tagged along as the hubby, but at the same time he's also done a huge amount of work himself also. So, you know, to be here in amongst Nan's family and Nan and John's family as well is just fantastic.
And you're here tonight to also honour Nan and John McGregor.
Absolutely.
How does it feel?
Kind of happy and sad. Happy that someone's having a life.
Yep.
But sad that the kind of constancy of having Nan around and John around's kind of not going to be there in the same kind of way.
They're going to be very hard to replace, aren't they?
They are, but in every community organisation, when someone who's been there for a long time says, I actually need to think about having a life for a while, it's amazing that other people then step forward and pick it up. And we've seen that happen in a range of community organisations over time, and knowing Nan and John the way I do, they wouldn't have done it if they didn't think there were people there who could pick it up and run with it.
Can you please now welcome, as we start off tonight, of course, a tribute dinner for one of the most wonderful women in Victoria, if not Australia. Can you please welcome, to start off with, the co-convener of the Victorian Gay and Lesbian Rights Lobby, Mr. David McCarthy.
Well, I don't really know what I can say about Nan and John McGregor that hasn't already been said. All of us owe them a huge debt of gratitude, not just for their leadership of PFLAG, but for the support they've given our community. They've both selflessly worked in support of the parents and friends of parents and friends of lesbians and gays. They've supported their own kids, and they've supported all of us. But we also owe them a debt for their work in establishing -18, which they did in cooperation with the Also Foundation. I think all of us would have liked, when we were younger, some of us that are a bit older, to have had something like PFLAG and -18 there. It's been a great inspiration, you know, to all of us, both of those organisations. But I want to relate a little tale, unaccustomed as I am to political lobbying. Just a little tale. It goes back to the Relationships Bill, which I have to say was a Labor government initiative, and thank you for that, John. That we were dealing with a particularly difficult Conservative politician who really couldn't get his head around the issues, and we had a number of meetings with him, and he still didn't get it. So at the end of the day, I rolled out the big guns and I said, listen, if you don't get your head around this and understand this, I'm going to set Nan on you. Needless to say, he saw reason. But anyway, Nan and John, in a way, have been parents to all of us. And I hope, Nan and John, that I can continue to call on your wise counsel from time to time. Don't think you're going to escape. I really want to thank you personally, and also on behalf of the Victorian Gay and Lesbian Rights Lobby, for all that you've done for your kids, for all that you've done for us, and the example that you've set in terms of what a loving parent is all about. Through your efforts and through John's efforts, you've made Victoria a much better place, you've made it a more inclusive place, and you've shown us what the true value of love and compassion is. So thank you, Nan, and thank you, John.
And we're privileged to be able to co-host this evening with the VGLRL, and as a tribute to Nan. And we had Nan as one of the speakers probably about 18 months ago at the Phoenix at a Globe dinner, and listening to Nan, she was an inspiration. The thing about Nan and John is that they are an example of, as David said, a loving parent. And they've been a parent, a mother and a father to the whole of the GLBTI community. And it's something that words cannot express, the gratitude and the understanding that Nan has done for all of us in changing attitudes and the legislation towards the community. As an older member of the community, and I can say that, I grew up and there was none of that support around. And it's really great that for our young kids, the young gay and lesbians coming out, that Nan has actually changed the community attitudes and they are able to feel comfortable and free in what they are and who they are. So tonight is about a big thanks for Nan, and I hope all of you during the evening actually go up and personally give Nan a big hug and say thanks for what you've done for all of us. Okay, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are extremely fortunate to have a gentleman who is normally the Deputy Premier of this wonderful, wonderful state of ours, but tonight is in fact the Acting Premier. Can you please welcome the Right Honourable John Thwaites.
Well, thanks so much, and it's a great honour to be here to pay tribute to Nan and John McGregor, and also to join with so many other people who want to share their experience of particularly some of the great involvements that Nan's had over many years. I first met Nan, and I don't think she'd remember this, but it was at a Pride March, and I wasn't actually sure of what the PFLAG group were and what they were doing, and Nan actually came across and advised me of it. And I say that I say that advisedly because it was in no uncertain terms, because as people have said, Nan is a great lobbyist as well as a great supporter of humans and her family and other friends, and of course her support for the gay and lesbian community. But she was a strong lobbyist, and I think as early as those early days talked to me about the need for reforms. And so I'd have to say, getting into government, one of the best and most satisfying opportunities I had was to be one of the supporters of the Relationships Bill and other legislation. But it's absolutely critical to know that that sort of legislation doesn't get up in a political sense without the sort of support and lobbying and advocacy of people like Nan and John McGregor. So, as per Nan, I don't know whether she's going to tell us what she's going to do. I've been assured by others she won't really retire. And so we can look forward to the sort of contribution that Nan has made and John going forward for many years into the future. Thank you.
I would like you to please welcome to the microphone Master Keiran McGregor.
I'm actually kind of flabbergasted because I actually didn't know that I actually needed to prepare something for tonight. But on the spot, I suppose I'd like to first of all say thank you to everyone for coming this evening. I think it's fantastic that you've all been able to show your appreciation for someone that I know as Mum. And I know that Fergus and Anne and Fiona and of course Tim also really appreciate you all being here. God, now I'm feeling really tongue-tied and on the spot. Mum and Dad, look, you know, I know that when I came out to you, your world severely changed in a lot of different ways because you were you know, very suburban in a lot of ways, very Catholic, and now look at you. On behalf of everyone here tonight, sincere thanks and lots of love. I think, you know, words cannot express the love that not only Fergus, Anne and Fiona and myself feel for you, but also the wider gay and lesbian, bisexual, transgender and intersex, otherwise known as the sandwich community, feel in terms of the support that you give. I know that PFLAG has been such a large part of both of your lives for some time, but I also think that it's also now really appropriate that, you know, you take a step back, that you have some space, some time to think about, you know, retirement, the end of your business, some time to think about what you both want. I hope that time is really special. I hope that you both continue to walk together and share what has been, 42 years worth of marriage, which is an awesome achievement. I'm sure everyone agrees. And thank you.
Can you please welcome a lady we can't say more about, Nan McGregor.
Oh, look, thank you. Thank you so much. I guess simply thank you is just an inadequate way to express what I feel in my heart. When Macca first mooted this night to me, I thought, oh, God, nobody's going to want to come and see me. And I thought, wouldn't it be awful if it was all arranged and it had to be cancelled because nobody turned up? And I used to have those fears when the kids were having birthday parties. Nobody's going to turn up and I'm going to have to eat all those damned party pies and sausage rolls myself. I understand that there are wagers being taken on the length of my speech, and a prominent member of the community is the bookie. I shan't say any more than that. When Anne and Fiona were little tackers, my dad used to say to them, "It's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice." Now, I have to say that tonight I feel very nicely important. As I just want to take you on part of the journey that began for me on October the 19th, 1992, at 9:35 p.m, when Keiran came out to us. And that's led us to this night. And I thought, harking back to Dad's words about being important, I'd like to just play around with that word important and use it to focus what thoughts I want to share with you on that very word. So what is and what has been important in my life? Well, obviously my family, my husband John and the 4 children to whom we gave life, and another family, the people whom I love as dearly as those who are my birth children. The family which is Melbourne's LGBTI community, the family which I have at Metropolitan Community Church, and my PFLAG family. When I began my work with PFLAG, I felt very indignant that one of my children would be regarded as a second-rate individual. And then it became, my indignation was that it was my son and his friends. And then it became my son and his friends and my friends. And then finally it is settled to become my extended and somewhat extensive family. I was very reluctant to even attend a PFLAG meeting, and it was almost 8 months after Keiran had come out that I got shunted off. And it was more to placate Keiran, whom I was driving up the wall. And I agreed that I would go to one meeting, just one, that would be it. Well, I wouldn't be here tonight if I hadn't kept that promise I made to myself. That was in June 1993, And the following year, 1994, the fledgling but steadily growing group decided that it would be in our best interest to incorporate. And so we had to have office bearers. And I was appointed president. As president, I thought that all I would have to do would be to chair a meeting or two, and that would be it. And that I would remain president for maybe 2 terms at the most, and then hand it over to someone else. Well, perhaps I was handling the job okay because no one else wanted to take over. But I can't deny how important the job of the PFLAG president has been for me, and how much I enjoyed whatever it took to serve an organisation such as it is. I have experienced a certain ambivalence about retiring, but I reasoned that for the organisation to be healthy and vibrant, new leadership and direction was crucial, and on balance I had to realise that the time had come to relinquish the leadership. Now, I did say to Macca I might do an Ellie Melbourne and change my mind, and then we'll all have to come again for another party. But I do acknowledge that PFLAG will be in very good hands with our new president, Jeff Jealous, and it's great to see a dad at the helm. I've heard so often tearful parents say, the coming out, is the end of my life. And I have to say to them, yes, it probably is, but it's the beginning of a new one. If only you open your hearts and your minds and be responsive to the wonder of it all. Your life will be transformed, and you can truly be a better person if you are open to accept your child and the gifts you are given when they do come out. Those gifts are priceless. Honesty and trust and love. I may no longer be PFLAG's president, and I'm not going away. I'm still going to be around to annoy people. But I know that for as many years as I have left to me, I will always be a proud mother. I will always be a proud PFLAG mother. So, as Fred Small has written in his wonderful song, Everything Possible, you can be anybody you want to be. You can love whomever you will. You can travel any country where your heart leads, and know that I will love you still. But you know that, don't you? Thank you.
Nan, on behalf of the Victorian Gay and Lesbian Rights Lobby and the Gay and Lesbian Organisation for Business and Enterprise, a little token of our appreciation to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you, Nan.